Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and this is at least a 30-year-old carpet, and it's very worn. This is a carpet over the years I've cleaned hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Very common carpet back in the day. Don't see it so much anymore, but it is the pile is really flared, mushroomed, crushed, tip bloomed in the traffic areas after decades of wear. There was a very obvious upchuck stain there. That was a diarrhea stain. Another one over there. They were all very obvious. I pre-treated them all with Suspend with 3000 ppm of stabilized ClO2, and what usually occurs when I do that is by the time I do that when I pre-vacuum, and by the time I get to the actual cleaning, usually these stains, another one was right there, but usually they pretty much fade away almost. Usually they just disappear. There was another really obvious one here. So I pre-treat them, and by the time I get to actually cleaning, usually I don't see them, or they're almost gone. We got some very obvious filtration staining going on around the vents there. That probably won't come out 100%. I did pre-treat that with the Suspend as well. And this is actually a little bit of Omega. I'm going to throw some of that on there. And we'll go over here. Do this one too. I did work it in a little bit. You can probably tell that. I used my little rug renovator brush grooming tool, which is sitting right there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so my plan with this one, I do have if any of these like urine upchuck stains or the diarrhea stain, if any color remains after the fact, then I will put some peroxy on there if I think it needs it, if I can still see it. But usually I don't have to, but we'll see what happens. My plan here is to clean it with the Oxy-Dry fiber pad, and then I'm going to use an Iron Man. And although the carpet actually doesn't look very soiled per se, but I did fill, although it didn't look like it, when I vacuumed the steps, I filled my Shark rocket up on the steps. So anyway, and it looked like they'd probably vacuumed, but that's again why I never assume that the customer's vacuuming is adequate. I did a very thorough and slow vacuuming of everything, and I actually put some Revive Oxy All in the tank at 3 ounces per gallon, and I just see there a little bit of a yellowish stain right there. Yeah, 3 ounces per gallon to the Nanomax at the normal 2 ounces per gallon. So I felt that this carpet, although it's not an issue of soiling, I don't think, it just doesn't really look that soiled. There's no real obvious traffic lanes or anything. It's mostly these kind of obvious stains, which are already almost faded away. So I figured that the additional peroxide in the solution was a benefit to this carpet. And being that it is such a light carpet, you know, it's powder blue or whatever, or the gray, in the gray spectrum, I guess. Pretty light anyway. It would benefit from the additional peroxide in the solution. I don't use it that often, but sometimes it's a good choice. And of course you can see I'm, as usual, getting right up to the edges without any problem. And then when I put the Iron Man on, of course, the Iron Man pad extends about an inch out beyond the bumper, and so it'll clean right down the baseboards. I did, of course, vacuum the edges and everything as well, and that's part of the proper cleaning, of course. Not everybody does that. And there was a really weird looking black outline of something right over here, and I put a little bit of ammonia on that. I figured that was the right thing for that particular mark, and I took it out totally. It looked like it might have been an ink stain, like something transferred from a bottom of a box or something like that, and that seemed to work really well. It's gone. Okay, let's go over here. There was a stain here, which is only slightly visible now. It was much more obvious before I pre-treated it. And when I pre-treated, I did rub it in with my foot, but other than that, it's just the stabilized ClO2 that just breaks down the organic coloration there. Of course, that is the diarrhea stain, apparently. That might need some peroxide by the time I get to the end. We'll see. It looks like it's almost entirely out already. There's another really obvious stain right here. Again, I pre-treated it and it mostly disappeared already. Again, I'll just work my way back this way. But these marks look like they've all come out, no problem. This room is in much better shape. Now, there's a cat or two, plus a big dog in this house, so and that it probably explains why I filled the vacuum on the steps. So that's one of the reasons I think it's a better idea, and usually to use the hog's hair fiber pad, especially if you suspect there might be a lot of hair present, because it's so effective at pulling a hair out better than anything else, actually. Easy to move around and go in any direction without any effort. It reminds me of my I had two Dodge cars many years ago. I had a, what was it, a 75 Coronet and a 73 Dart Swinger, and they were alright cars, but I tell you, the power steering was like you could put your baby finger on the little steering wheel and turn the wheel. There was like no effort and no feedback, as it were. Very it's almost like the wheel felt like it was freewheeling. It was such an easy power steering setup they have in those cars, and that's kind of what it is with these when using the rotary. It's just there's no effort to moving it around, really. It's like power steering. Okay, we're gonna go back in here and see the stains are all gone. Look at that, eh? And I just want to just double check over here. There was a couple here. I want to just go over that a little bit more. I'm actually scanning. I'm looking for any evidence of any of the staining not being removed, and I'm not seeing the stains at all. Maybe a slight discoloration right where I'm at. But of course, the peroxide is continuing, and the stabilized CO2 is continuing to remove that color anyway. It doesn't necessarily work immediately. Well, it doesn't work immediately, but sometimes it works amazingly fast. Okay, so we're done with this pad. We're gonna switch over to the Ironman. So there's actually quite a lot of animal hair on there, which is what I was expecting. So my expectation with this, because this is a small job, is my plan is that I'm going to go over it with the Ironman, and then I'll flip it into a B-side to give it an extra dry pass. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how that goes. But boy, this carpet is looking very good. I mean, it is worn, but these marks are all coming out. Now, that's one thing. What just happened there is where if I use the rayon pad, which I considered, it would go over that hole there and not have what just happened there, where it just sort of bunched it up underneath a little bit. But anyway, not a big deal. I was expecting that. So you can see I can just go right down the wall without any effort at all. This carpet is really brightening up nicely. This is a nylon. This is back when they were everywhere you went there was nylon carpets. That's from that era, and you know, yeah, they clean so well, so easily. Nope. Let's go this way. Again, there's a couple of real nasty stains here. They're totally gone. The diarrhea stain appears to be gone. I think I can see a slight color there. Very slight. But it's continuing to fade. I will probably put some proxy on there before we're done, but it'll likely do just fine. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna come down this wall here. You see the pad is right up against the baseboard, cleaning right along that edge, no problem at all. This isn't actually a big ticket job at all, because it's not very much square feet. But be careful with these. There we go. There we go. Nope. All right. Now I have to get this desk pulled out. be using that in a sec. Okay, let's go over here. See, right down the edge of the wall there with the pad. Not a problem at all. Okay, we're going to groom that and put it back. I made sure the pad was, by the way, just damp enough to clean this area where it's never getting walked on, so there's not wet under here. It'll be slightly damp, but not a problem. You can put this back right away if you do it right. I actually almost never put like blocks and tabs down because you don't need to, and that's one of the things I figured out many years ago, that if you do this right with precision and control, that's one of the things you can avoid. Sometimes I will. There are certain pieces of furniture that I would, such as red cherry wood. That stuff will bleed if you look at it with a tear in your eye. And sometimes other things too, but very rarely do you need to do that. So we're gonna, yeah, it's a fairly wet, so we're gonna do a B-side. And so the purpose of this is more to dry the carpet a little bit more. You can see that it actually hasn't appeared to pull up an awful lot of soil, but then this carpet did not appear to be very soiled. Mostly what we're dealing with, and the concern this customer had, was really the staining, which is now pretty much 100% gone, I think. And then it just needed to be given a brightening up, because over the years this carpet would have been steam cleaned, and it has a dingy kind of a look that loses its color, as it were. It loses its punch, its pop. And these carpets, over the years, decades, amazingly, as I've cleaned them, when they get cleaned properly like this, they will pop. They really come alive. The colors just, it really is quite astonishing, the difference before and after when you clean these carpets. They just clean so nicely with the SETT method, soil extraction transfer technology, because it's actually removing that film that can build up on the carpet, particularly after a steam cleaning. It kind of, with the pad on there, it does a polish to the fibers, which they're a plastic, nylon, and they do like to have a bit of a buffing that puts a bit of a shine onto the fibers. So that's one of the reasons it looks so good. You can just barely see any color on that diarrhea stain, just slightly there. I think I will record the post-grooming on this job with the vacuum. I think that'll be a interesting thing to show. I can feel this one is a little drier than the other room. I can feel the pad binding slightly. So I've just added a bit of solution. Again, that's one of the reasons I prefer shower feeding, because I can react right in the moment to what I'm seeing or feeling. You gotta be careful not to push up on the side rails, because they'll pop out of their position there. Ask me how I know that. Okay, we'll just go for the middle portion just a bit. Then we'll head over here. There's some weird damage there. I suspect the cat might have done that. I'll snip that out in a few minutes. I'll put this over here. We'll take a look at the pad. That bad stain at the edge of the steps is 100% gone. Okay, we'll take a look. So it's the A side, and the B side, that's just mostly moisture. Just put my hand on here, see how it feels. Well, that's definitely a lot drier. Yeah, that definitely helped. Okay, so I'll let you go, because I'll go to the steps, and then we'll do the post-vacuuming grooming on the upstairs here. So I'll let you go. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.